What was the question? Oh God, mom brain. I have them all written down here.
In the night, you wake me up when the sun goes down. Feelings right, you wake me up when the sun goes down. Sleepless nights, you wake me up when the sun goes down. I can't help it, baby, not myself when the sun goes down. I can't, baby, I can't, baby.
I'm so excited that I'm finally filming this video for you guys. It's been a long time coming. Oh, do your boobs get saggy? Do they lose shape? Do your nipples change? Yes, we are 100 in this thing. I'm so glad because my camera was dead. I was trying to film when this went away, but oh well, we're still gonna film anyway. You know that postpartum skin though. All right, babes, welcome back to our channel. So today we are gonna finally talk all about breastfeeding. I pulled some of your guys' questions from Instagram, and I'm finally gonna answer them. It only took me like, I don't know, several months. So let's go ahead and let's jump into this video. It might be a little bit longer than our other videos just because you guys had some really, what are you doing? You guys had some really good questions about breastfeeding. So I'm gonna answer them as many as I can, and let's get into it. All right, so breastfeeding is not always easy. It actually can be challenging for some people, but then other people just really easy. So Noah's back there in his crib because there's no way in hell that I could film this video without having him in his crib because he messes with everything. So safest place for him is in his crib if you're wondering why he's back there. Nola's here on my lap, so you guys will see lots of this little girl. But anyways, so breastfeeding. Breastfeeding can be challenging for many people, and then some people it's just easy. So don't feel bad if you're having struggles, because a lot of you were telling me that you guys were having struggles and questions, and that's okay. You just have to keep working through it if you can and just keep nursing. They also have latch consultants or breastfeeding consultants as well. So check your local clinic or ask your doctor, and they can give you a professional if you're having issues with breastfeeding and you really do need help. Okay, so the way it should start out with breastfeeding is there's this liquid called colostrum. So when you're pregnant, you should get some colostrum about maybe 7-8 months into your pregnancy. For me, it was pretty early. With both of my kids, I had colostrum in my nipples or coming out of my nipples probably around 4 to 5 months, but like I said, everybody is different. So it's just a liquid that comes out, and that's the liquid your baby drinks before you have breast milk. So it's like liquid gold for your baby. So even if you're not gonna breastfeed, try to express or nurse when you first have your baby so they can get all that good nutrients and antibodies and all that good stuff. That's very important. Just a little drop, a few drops actually fills them up because their stomach is so small. It's like the size of a cherry. So colostrum is what's supposed to happen, and then a few days later after you deliver your baby, your milk supply should start coming in. Now it will come in for some people really heavy and you might get engorged all the time, or it might come in, you know, not so heavy, and some people can produce milk, a lot of milk, and some people have a harder time. So I'm going to give you guys a few things that I think can help you and has helped me increase my milk supply and keep it steady. Because I did breastfeed my son. I actually exclusively pumped because he did not want to latch. So he was my first baby, so I kind of gave up on that and I just exclusively pumped. It was hard, it was challenging, but so worth it. And I did it until about a year old for him. And Nola's exclusively breastfed, so I know what it's like to do both bottle feed and pump and exclusively breastfeed. So yeah, she is currently 7 months right now, and she is exclusively breastfed. She is eating some solids, but yeah, we're talking about breastfeeding now, so let's get back to that. So as I said, like, your milk is going to come in and you might feel engorged. Your milk will regulate. Just give it a few weeks and your body will know how much milk to produce for your baby, so you're not feeling engorgement. If you guys don't know what engorgement is, it's just an abundance of milk in your milk ducts, and your boobs get really hard and they hurt so bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you what you can do about that first. Engorgement, what I would do is I would either take a warm shower, and like it kind of express the milk out yourself and kind of relieve yourself. 2, I would pump. Pumping really helps with your engorgement as well. Or 3, nurse your baby and they will definitely relieve you as well for engorgement. You want to make sure that you don't keep getting engorged, because that can lead to an infection called mastitis, which is very painful and can affect you nursing. So you want to make sure you don't get that and contact your doctor if you do. First question that I'm going to answer is, how do you know when to pump and how often to pump? So what I did, especially in the beginning, other people might tell you differently, but I mean, I had a lot of milk stored up in my freezer. Like, I had the first 2 months, you guys, I pumped like twice a day, just twice a day, because the body naturally produces a lot of milk. And so I pumped twice a day, and I was able to store in the freezer 2 8-ounce bags of milk, you guys. And I just kept storing, so I had a good milk supply just in case I could not feed her if I was not here. You don't have to pump, but I definitely recommend pumping, especially in the beginning if you are engorged. It relieves you, for 1, so you're not feeling pain, and for 2, you're gonna store up milk, and what mom doesn't want to store up milk? So I would highly suggest that. So when you are pumping, you do want to be careful, because the more you pump, the more your body produces milk. And I mean, for me, that was a great thing, because I wanted to store a whole bunch of milk. And if you don't want to pump and if you don't want to store milk, then I really wouldn't worry about pumping. I would just stay engorged, so your body understands that it's producing too much milk. Okay, so another question that I got is, do you need to use the Haka if you have a pump? If you don't know what the Haka is, I'll insert another clip when I go get it, because it's in the dishwasher right now. Or the Haka, I really don't know how to pronounce it. It's kind of tricky, but you just like put it on the opposite boob that you're nursing on, and the letdown just falls right in here, and then you're able to collect the extra milk and store it in the freezer. So like I said, this thing is great. It's natural organic silicone, and you can use this instead of a pump if you really feel like you're not like a huge milk supply person. But I still recommend a pump, but this is great too, and I love it. You can order it off of Amazon, and you can bring it with you, and it folds up because it's silicone. It's great. Highly recommend if you are a breastfeeding mama. Another question I got is, when do you use a bottle when you're trying to breastfeed? And my answer for that is, and so Noah took a bottle right away, like 2 weeks in, because it was just, he was not latching, and Nola has never taken a bottle. So it really just depends on your baby. I think they recommend. Okay, so this video is going to be all over the place because I'm filming with kids, you guys, and it's very challenging. Anyway, so like I said, 6 weeks is recommended for bottles and pacifiers if you are breastfeeding. So there's that. Oh, because the reason why is because they're scared of nipple confusion, that your baby's not going to want to breastfeed anymore. And obviously breastfeeding is the best thing for your baby, but it's okay if you can't. Like, not everybody can, and it does take a lot of dedication. Also, I wasn't afraid of nipple confusion, honestly, and my babies did not take pacifiers. They both don't like them really, so we have them, and we did try in the beginning, and they just didn't like the pacifier. So yeah. Another question that I got is, do your nipples change? And that's such a good question. And does your boob shape change? And honestly, I didn't notice that from my first time. We'll see this time. My nipples still look the same. They did get a lot darker during pregnancy, but they're back to their normal color now. Mine didn't, so that's my answer for that one. So I'm glad that they didn't change. And then another question I got is, how did I develop a milk stash? And like I said earlier, I just pump from the beginning, and that way you just start storing milk. I also use the Haka as well to store the milk that was coming down from the letdown side of my boob, and it totally worked. You just put it in the freezer and store that baby. So that's what I did. Another question that I got is, how do you increase milk supply? That is probably the #1 question that I got. And honestly, you guys, I would just say drink lots of water, do skin to skin with your baby, because that circulates that milk, is the skin to skin contact with your baby. Also, eating oatmeal. A lot of people, I really suggest this as well, but a lot of people have recommended this to me when I had Noah, and it does work, or it did for me at least, is eating a lot of oatmeal is good for milk production as well. And I mean, those are, oh, pumping. Pumping is great. I power pumped, and when my milk supply was getting low, because there was a point when I got pregnant with Nola. Well, we'll talk about that in a second, because that's another question. But power pumping is great. So you want to pump for at least 10 minutes on each boob, and then pump another 10 minutes longer or so your body gets the signal to keep producing more and more milk, like your baby needs more milk. But that way you can store your milk. Oh, someone's sleepy. What was the question? Oh God, mom brain. I have them all written down here. Does your milk supply change when you get pregnant? That was also another really good question. Yes, for me it did change. I noticed a big dip in milk supply when I got pregnant with Nola. I'm not sure if it's because I was pumping a little bit less because I started working another kind of job at the airport. But yeah, my milk supply definitely did change and take a huge dip, and we ended up supplementing around 8-9 months, but I still did continue to pump for Noah. So the answer to that for me is yes, pregnancy definitely affected my milk supply kind of dramatically. So I recommend, if you're trying to get pregnant, or if you are pregnant, to kind of wean your baby off. I also understand, or have heard or read, that breastfeeding can cause miscarriages because it makes the uterus contract. So you definitely don't want that. But I mean, that wasn't the case for me. She was totally fine, and I still breastfed like the whole year. But maybe just consider weaning your baby off a little bit. Feel about nursing in public, because if you're a breastfeeding mama, that will definitely happen. You will have to nurse in public, and that's okay. I mean, if your baby's hungry, do what you gotta do, mama. You have to feed your baby. So I don't have any ill feelings at all towards it. I'm actually 100% for it. I breastfeed in public, no problem. I do recommend to be a little bit more modest and try to cover up as best as you can. I mean, if you have a nip slip here and there, like, oh well, that's gonna happen, because that's just natural. So yeah, if you have a nip slip in public, like, that's just, it is what it is, and people just have to deal. I recommend maybe getting like a nursing cover. I have a nursing cover, or maybe using like a swaddle, or even using like your shirt to like kind of cover that area. It definitely works well. So highly recommend a cover of some sort if you want to be a little bit more modest, because that's what I recommend. That's what I do. I don't want to be like offending anybody, but if my baby's hungry, I'm definitely gonna feed her. Next question. Have a nursing schedule? And the answer to that is no. I cannot keep schedules like that. I just nurse on demand, and I've always been that way. Whenever my boobs feel full, or whenever she is hungry, because she always will tell me when she's hungry. I don't have to worry about that. She feeds probably once every 2 hours, because breast milk is a lot thinner than formula. So if you are breastfeeding, expect for your baby to want to feed more. She's definitely a cluster feeder, and she's definitely grumpy now. So let me go ahead and nurse her. about how do you get your babies to sleep through the night while you're nursing. And honestly, I can't really answer this from my own experience. I just hear that sleep training really works if you're trying to get your baby to sleep through the night. But Nola currently does not sleep through the night. She wakes up every few hours to eat, if not every hour, you guys. And right now we are co-sleeping because we have a small place. And yeah, so that's that. We definitely sleep safely co-sleeping. She sleeps in her little snuggle me, so she has her own little sleeping area, and you know, no one rolls on her or anything like that, of course. But yeah, I definitely recommend sleep training if you are trying to get them not to nurse throughout the night. Yeah, so look up sleep training and kind of figure out which way you want to do it, but I think that definitely helps. But Nola does not sleep through the night because we co-sleep, but we are thinking about sleep training her. It's just hard, I feel like, when you co-sleep, and I'll give you guys an update kind of on that when we get there. Okay, another question I got is, my baby keeps letting go and doesn't seem interested during some feeds. And what I can say about that is, you just don't want them to be distracted. So you want to go in like a nice quiet place where there's not anything that you're watching, and put earphones in if you are. Just no noise, kind of dim light, and your baby should start nursing and not letting go and unlatching. Yeah, I highly recommend that. So a dim, no noise, quiet place, and that should help with that. Should I be concerned if my baby doesn't eat every 2 to 3 hours? And the answer to that is no. I feed on demand, so that's just kind of like a rule of thumb, like a guide to go by, every 2 to 3 hours. So I wouldn't worry too much. Like I said, your baby will let you know when they're hungry for sure. And if not, don't wait too long, but I wouldn't be concerned. Okay, next question is, do you need a nursing pillow? And I highly recommend a nursing pillow. I am using the Boppy right now. Nola's actually sleeping on it after I nursed her to sleep. Yes, I highly recommend a nursing pillow. I bought this when I had Noah and didn't know how much I was gonna love it with my second baby, because Noah was exclusively bottle fed with breast milk. So I didn't really get to use it like I use it now. If you're exclusively breastfeeding, I highly recommend one of the moon kind of shape nursing pillows, because they make it so much more comfortable, a lot more pressure like off of your back and stuff. I love it. I love the nursing pillow. So highly recommend that if you are nursing. How do you solve a clogged milk duct? Now, I really have only had this maybe once or twice in my whole breastfeeding journey. A clogged milk duct is when milk gets clogged up in your duct, and it hurts. It really, really hurts. So it feels kind of similar to being engorged, I guess, but it's not pleasant. It definitely hurts. So yes, I recommend getting like a warm washcloth, or take a warm shower, and just kind of, like I said, massage it out. Same thing as if you're engorged. You kind of just want to massage it out, pump, or feed your baby. So same kinds of things. How do you keep your nipples from getting chapped? Because that can definitely be a problem, especially in the beginning. What I recommend for that is like some type of organic. The only reason why I say organic or natural is because you want something safe for your baby to have their mouth on, because you don't want to have to wipe down your nipple every single time you have to feed your baby, because you have to feed them all the time. So you want something that's going to be safe, baby safe, and that should really help with your nipples not getting chapped or scarred or any of that gross stuff. You just want to make sure you're keeping them nice and moist, you guys. Okay, so some type of lanolin, or I have this organic balm that I used, or even coconut oil, you guys. I love coconut oil. I use it for my hair, my skin, to remove my makeup. I literally used it for stretch marks, everything. So coconut oil is like something I swear by, and it's safe, and organic and all that good stuff. So highly recommend that. It is, do your boobs get saggy after you're done breastfeeding? Well, I can say this. I know this video is like TMI, but I mean, we're talking about breastfeeding. Anyway, so your boobs definitely can get a little bit saggier, or they just feel a lot less full after the milk is gone. So there is that. I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm gonna be honest. Your boobs can get a little bit saggy. Mine are still fine. Like, I haven't noticed that big of a difference, but after the milk is gone, you definitely feel like they're not so, you know, happy and perky because there's no milk in there after that. So yeah, but it's nothing to be concerned about. Your body has done something so amazing, you guys. So your mom bod is just, it's amazing. That's all I have to say. Like, I know we can be hard and tough on ourselves with our bodies after having a baby, but just keep in mind, like, your body's amazing, you're amazing, and you're perfect. Like, you did something that is so beautiful, and your body might take a small toll for it, and it might not be the same, but like I said, you did something absolutely amazing. You grew a human. Like, somewhat go back together. You can always work on yourself. You can work out. You can eat right. Like, it's not over. You can still look sexy. Like, don't be down on yourselves. Another thing I want to say is, if you can't breastfeed, there's no shame in that at all. I just believe in a happy fed baby, and not everyone's able to breastfeed. It's an absolute blessing that I was able to breastfeed both of my children, and if we have another one in the future, I hope I can still do the same, and that I have been able to have so much milk and my body just naturally produces it. And I'm more than thankful, because I know that there's some women out there that have a hard time producing milk, or just can't breastfeed at all. So I just want you to know that you're not a bad mom if you can't breastfeed, or even if you decided not to. A happy fed baby is all that matters. So yeah, I think I answered all of your guys' questions, or as many as I could. I just want to thank you guys so much for clicking on this video, supporting us, all that good stuff. You know that button down there? You should definitely hit it that says subscribe if you're not subscribed already. I love making content for you babes, and I just want you to be the best mamas that you can be out there. And yeah, I gotta stop saying and I'm so annoying. I'm working on it though. So thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure you like it. If you want to see more videos from us, hit that subscribe button, turn on your bell notifications, all that all that good stuff. I will see you in our next video, you guys. Bye. 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 You have no clothes on. Otherwise, I would show you. Say bye. Thank you for watching our video.
Bye.